Assalamu alaikum, good morning. How long have I got? About an hour? No. I know everybody's
Depends if
dying
you
for a
want coffee.
Absolutely, everybody's dying for a coffee, but give me 5 minutes of your time, if you don't mind, please. So I'm going to speak to you, I'm going to come at it from a slightly different angle. So I work for a tech firm, and I'm going to kind of expand on it in just a minute. But up on the screen, you can probably see MLETR, and Electronic Original Documents. So just a quick couple of questions from the audience, if you don't mind. So who knows what a BL is? Hands up. Great, excellent. Who thinks over 50% of BLs are digital? You are indeed correct. It's 4% of the world's bills of lading are digital. So that gives you an opportunity, obviously, to understand about sustainability and how we can remove paper from the world instantly. And one of my guests, the speaker that just came on just now, mentioned IKEA. Does anybody know where IKEA was born?
Yep, Sweden.
In Sweden, absolutely. And that gives me a nice segue into exactly who I am and where I'm from. So I'm head of MENA for a small Swedish tech firm. We're headquartered in Stockholm. And we hold patents for being able to create digital original documents. I'm not going to go on to everything that's kind of based there, but I wanted to come on to understand about what the marine and shipping industry does. Of course, key to it is a bill of lading. So today, as I've mentioned, only 4% are digital. So a piece of paper is actually a great standard. But just take a minute, isn't it strange that that piece of paper which travels the world actually starts digital? So it starts on a Word document or a system, somebody hits print, and then you've got a piece of paper which travels the world. Could we change that? Is that an opportunity? And why is that? And that's because a piece of paper has remained a main reason of trust, somebody who signs it, the data that's in it, the details that are in it. So what we want to be able to do is, of course, see in that opportunity, changing that paper into something digital. But there are barriers. There's regulation barriers. There's industry practice barriers. Interoperability, which simply means, can two systems read what has been sent to them, either via a data set or via a piece of paper? And of course, data integrity as well. So that's the actual trust of the data which is actually coming in. So at that juncture, our very clever data scientists and engineers from our company were given the task to go and find out, can we come up with a solution that can actually address that? To help that, something called MLETR. Quick show of hands, anybody know what MLETR is? Okay, that's very good news for me because I can educate you about it right now. MLETR is probably the world's, or one of the world's biggest laws or legal frameworks that global trade doesn't know enough about. So it was actually generated by the United Nations. There was a particular division called UNCITRAL that in 2017 came up with the model law for electronic transferable records. So that obviously applies to us in the marine and shipping industry. It of course applies to banks. And there are three core principles. And what it actually said, in short, is that can a digital version of a document be treated in the same way as a paper document? And their answer was yes, so long as it's freely transferable, meaning that it can be moved from one person to another, or one company to another. Secondly, is it singular? Is there only one of them, where there needs to be one of them? And thirdly, can we prove possession? So today, if I have a piece of paper in my hand and I hand it to anybody in this room, and you hold it, you own it. But can we do that digitally? There must be a way. And this was born. So our scientists actually came up with something called a trace original document. Very simply, it's the next generation of a PDF. So in the very same way that you can take a Word document now, hit one button and create a PDF, in exactly the same way, we can take a PDF right now, click one button, and create a trace original document. whereby it becomes a freely transferable record, which is, of course, in our industry here, a bill of lading. In addition to that, you can then see all of the actual plus points on the right-hand side, where you can add e-signatures, you can add attachments, the document can grow. You can add endorsements, which is very key to the banking sector. And I only know that too well because I'm actually a former banker from HSBC in trade finance, and I know how many documents I've handled in my time as well, adding endorsements. You can create verifiable copies as well, and of course you can invalidate the document as well. So it is, in my opinion, revolutionary. I've been a banker, I've handled trade finance documents, as I mentioned, so I know what pain points there are across the world, not just in banking, but everybody involved in the value chain. So now, with the advent of Trace Original, with the regulation in place from the MLETR, industry practice is growing, so the resistance to it is thawing. Interoperability and data integrity is actually a key, or two key elements of actually the document which becomes the Trace Original. Why? Because there is structured data instantly in the document, and therefore whoever consumes the data in the document is able to do so electronically. Of course, in our industry in this room, this applies to the bill of lading. And some of you may know IGPNI, which is the International Group of Protection and Indemnity Clubs, and previously they had only given the approval for digital BLs to closed platforms. So we're not a platform, we're a capability. And I'm giving the use case of obviously a bill of lading at the moment, but of course I can speak at length afterwards, because actually the PDF it's agnostic of the data which is actually in the document. It can be absolutely anything. We've also got support from BIMCO, FIATA, and DCSA to be able to recognize an EBL. It's as simple as that. So who do we have as clients in the world at the moment? Straight away I'll point out that Emirates NBD is actually a customer of ours in the region. We're working with a lot of the other banks. We're working with carriers, freight forwarders, corporates, and insurers as well. So some current initiatives that I'm involved in and I'm actually leading, and please do speak to me afterwards if you want to get involved. We're actually in the World Economic Forum Trade Tech Sandbox initiative, which is sponsored by the regulator here and the Ministry of Economy, in particular Dr. Thani. We're also involved in something with TradeGo, which is a platform which gives you access to 18 Chinese banks. And we all know, of course, how cumbersome, difficult, complex it can be to obviously deal with China. And thirdly, I'm actually involved and sit on the ICC Qatar's MLETR task force working group, and in order to actually drive the adoption of MLETR here in the country and the region. I'll stop there, but if anybody wants to speak to me afterwards, please do, and thank you very much.